I think more people are starting to realize something about modern life. Leaving the house costs money. It sounds ridiculous, but think about it. The minute I walk outside, somebody wants $20. Transportation costs money. Coffee costs money. Lunch costs money. Parking costs money. Entertainment costs money. Shopping costs money. Drinks cost money. Even sitting somewhere for a couple of hours can somehow turn into a $50 day. And eventually I started asking myself a simple question. Why am I going out? There was a time when going out felt normal. You could meet somebody for lunch without turning it into a financial decision. You could grab a couple of drinks. You could walk around some stores. You could see a movie. You could order something to eat afterward. Nothing about the day felt extravagant. Now I start adding up everything before I even leave. Transportation there, food, maybe a drink, maybe something else catches my attention. Transportation home. Suddenly, I've spent $100 and I don't even know what I bought. That's the strange part. Sometimes you can spend a surprising amount of money without actually buying anything substantial. You come home with new clothes, no new electronics, no furniture, nothing. You basically paid money to exist somewhere other than your house for 6 hours. And I'm starting to think a lot of people are getting tired of that. So they're staying home. Not necessarily because they're antisocial. Not necessarily because they don't want to have fun. Home is simply becoming the only place where the meter stops running. At home, I already paid the rent. I already bought the groceries. I already pay for the internet. I already have entertainment. I already have somewhere to sit. Why should I leave my apartment and spend another $100 just because it's Saturday? That's becoming harder to justify. Especially when you look at what things cost now. You meet somebody for dinner and the bill arrives. You look at it twice. Then there's tax. Then there's the tip. Maybe you took an Uber there. Maybe you need another Uber home. Your simple dinner just became an event. And don't even start adding drinks. A couple of drinks can turn an ordinary evening into a serious expense. Then somebody says, "Let's go somewhere else." No, I'm going home. Because at some point, having fun shouldn't require financial recovery. And I think That's why staying home has changed. It used to sound boring. Now staying home sounds financially responsible. People have televisions, streaming services, video games, YouTube, social media, food in the refrigerator, music, books. They have phones, computers. There are endless ways to entertain yourself without continuously spending money. So businesses aren't only competing against each other anymore. They're competing against people's living rooms. And the living room is winning. Because the living room doesn't charge a service fee. The couch doesn't ask for a tip. The refrigerator doesn't suddenly introduce surge pricing. You don't need transportation to get there. And nobody hands you a bill when you decide you're finished. That's a pretty good deal. But there's something about this trend that I think goes deeper than saving money. People are starting to reorganize their lives around avoiding expenses. That's different. Instead of asking, what should I do this weekend? People are asking, what can I do this weekend that doesn't cost anything? That's a major shift. Because when millions of people start thinking that way, businesses feel it. Restaurants feel it. Bars feel it. Movie theaters feel it. Retail stores feel it. Entertainment venues feel it. Delivery apps feel it. Everybody is competing for money that ordinary people increasingly don't want to spend or don't have. And businesses can keep raising prices. They can keep adding fees. They can keep shrinking portions. They can keep finding creative ways to increase revenue. But there's one thing they can't force people to do. They can't force people to show up. That's the power consumers still have. You can simply say no. No, I'm not paying that. No, I'm not ordering that. No, I'm not upgrading that. No, I'm not going there. No, I'm not spending $70 because I'm bored. I'll stay home. And once people get comfortable saying no, something interesting happens. They start realizing how many things they never actually needed. Maybe I don't need takeout 3 times a week. Maybe I don't need to go shopping because I have nothing else to do. Maybe I don't need to spend money every weekend. Maybe I don't need to upgrade something that still works. Maybe boredom doesn't have to be solved by buying something.